What does the Bible say about fleeing or putting to death sexual immorality? 1 Corinthians 6:18 says, "Flee sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the person who is sexually immoral sins against his own body." And it keeps going. What about Colossians 3:5? Colossians 3:5 says, "Therefore put to death what belongs to your earthly nature: sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desire, and greed, which is idolatry." And it also keeps going about some stuff. What about 2 Timothy 2:22? 2T2:22. 2T2:22. "Flee from youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart." And it keeps going as well. There's other verses that talk about this. But the idea of fleeing or putting to death something in us. So when you say I'm fleeing sexual immorality, that means you're getting out of that situation. If it is your bedroom that you get tempted in, that means not going to that spot. If it is a device being next to you that it gives you that temptation, that means you are putting that device somewhere else, locking it up, or throwing the device away, breaking the device, getting a cheaper device, or getting a non-smartphone. Like, you flee things, and that is a way, like physically, whenever Joseph was in the house of Potiphar, and Potiphar's wife wanted to sleep with him, he literally ran away from the situation. So when it comes to technology, online temptation, since it's not coming after us, but when we can access it, fleeing may look different than actually running, but it may look like actual running. You could literally, as soon as you get tempted, you could just take off on a run or do 100 push-ups. Put your body through physical discipline, and that will also help the spiritual discipline of the side of things too. But how do we flee or put to death something like this? Well, one way is to starve it, to not let ourselves even have the option to be a part of it. So that looks like getting a new device, getting a cheaper device, getting rid of your device, getting rid of social media, if that's the case. Or something that really, really, really helps me is I have Ever Accountable downloaded on my phone, my laptop, my iPad, and another phone I have. And this sends a weekly update of things I searched online to, I think, 5 different people. I might could add more, but I have 5 on mine. 3 people that I serve on staff, or 3 people, I'm not on staff at church, but 3 people I serve with at church, one of my best friend, and then one of my mentors. So I don't want any of these people knowing that I look at porn or struggle with that. So I have them on this software. If it's people that you don't really care about letting down, then don't put them on there. Put people on there that you really care about their respect, and you want to, it's people that you want to, you want to be held accountable. So if it's somebody you don't really care or you never see them, it's like, I don't care if they know about this. They're struggling with it too. Don't use that person. Use people that are not struggling with this, that have overcome this, and that are even over you or that you serve with. Use wisdom on that. But that would be my advice there. And that really, really helps me. And if you get rid of the software or try to reset your phone, it updates them about all that. So there ain't no way around it. That is a way to flee sexual immorality and put this to death, is by not giving yourself the option anymore. But also in Paul's word to Timothy, he says to flee from youthful passions, but then he says don't just flee, but pursue something else. So pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. So do it with other people, do it with community, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. Get in a community at your church and pursue something good, righteous. Pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace together. So don't do this alone. Do it with others. And pursue something. Don't just say no to things. Look at what you're saying yes to. You're saying yes to a deeper walk with God. You're saying yes to the life God wants you to, for you. You're saying that you love God more than you love this thing. you're saying you value your closeness with God more than you value your 30-second feeling of pleasure for a moment. So don't just say no to things, but look at what you're saying yes to. There's two ways to get to the bottom of a ski mountain when you're skiing. You can look at all the trees you have to avoid and all the rocks, and you can kind of go down really scared and bumpy, and you might get close to some, you might even hit some, and you're really freaking out. And then by the end, you get to the end, and you're like, whoa, that was not cool. I'm not doing that again. Or you can just look at the path. And there are trees and there are rocks, but you're not worried about them. You're just looking at the path. And that's what the Christian life hopefully should be about. Not us trying to grit our teeth every day, trying to say, I can't sin today. I can't sin today. All we're doing is looking at the sin we're trying to avoid. We're looking at everything we're saying no to. And then that's what our eyes are fixed on. That's what our mind is fixed on. That's all we can pay attention to. No. It's not that. Look at where you're saying yes to. Life with God. Intimacy with God. All satisfying. Fulfilling life. A life not held captive by sin. Not trapped in sin. Not constantly being deceived by lies from sin, saying this is what you want, this is what you want, this is what you want, and you know it's not what you want because every single time you give in, you're never satisfied, and you wish you didn't do it. And so let's break free from that. Let's look at what we're saying yes to, which is much better. And if you have never experienced intimacy with God, and you don't know how good that is, then that's something to talk to God about. Say, God, will you please help my intimacy with you grow? And the gateway to intimacy with God is surrender and obedience. Trust and obey. What does that song say? Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey.